Now we're getting to what silence means. And I'm happy this time, for the first time when the silent retreat is starting, I'm taking the time to explain what truly silence means. So now, right here, right now, you exist effortlessly, isn't it? Your existence is completely effortless. Nobody is holding the existence up. You just are. I am. This existence has been considered to be something. And you cannot do that unless you access the ATM. The notion that I am something only comes from the mind. So Bhagwan said, to see I am is to recognize God, to recognize consciousness. To believe I am something is to play as limited consciousness, individualized consciousness. So all of spirituality ultimately, no matter what the path might be, is to get you to this simple I amness, empty of the something notion. And the something notion only comes from the ATM, from the mind. Now, if I say to you, if I've said this to you, you are the self. You see? You cannot be something, and that is enough for you, then we are done. You are just this self. And this truth is apparent to you right now. It is apparent to you right now, whether your thoughts are agreeing with what I'm saying or not. It has always been the truth. I am. Now, many times, just this one reminder that you are the self, you are not something, is not enough in the play of this world. Then the master said, surrender. All the something that is coming, you surrender it. Surrender means it's my father's problem. Whatever tool you need to use to surrender, what happens then is that we come to this beautiful letting go. You see, the Zen master said, keep your front door and back door open, let all thoughts come and go, don't serve them tea. This is surrender. And this much is also then enough. Which is the same as saying, don't believe your next thought. Just let it come and go. Then know something sticks. And I am remains maskless. You see? Now, some of you might say, this doesn't work for me, and that is fine. Either the temperament is not devotional, or the letting go seems too difficult. Then we come to the realm of sadhana. What is the simplest? When the notion something comes, find out who witnesses that. Who am I? Thought is coming. Who is the witness of this thought? Find out if any thought, any something is applicable to the real you. In this checking, you will realize that all the notion of something cannot really apply to the truth of what I am. How many are following what I'm saying so far? Because I can repeat, I can go back. This is really important because we are talking about the fundamentals of the human condition and what satsang really is. I feel like for many of us, we've been in satsang for a long time, but we don't recognize what is really going on. And the notion I am something itself becomes the prerequisite to satsang itself. I am a spiritual person, now I want my freedom. You see, I am the seeker, give me this. So we're not starting truly from where we are. So I want us to start from I am itself, notionless. You don't have to do anything about it. Already, this moment is giving you this gift. This moment has already given you this gift. You are empty of all notions about yourself. Restart. So, like I said, first is if you can just let these notions come and go. This is the surrendered state. I've advised many of you to just stay at my father's feet. This is what it means. Nothing is your problem now. All things come and go. If that doesn't seem possible in our temperament, then we inquire, who am I? As you inquire, who am I, you will see that these notions do not apply to me. I remain as I am. Then, some might say even inquiry doesn't seem to help, or I can't do it. I just don't have the patience for it, or it irritates me, or something. Okay? Then, other types of sadhana have been prescribed in various paths with the same purpose. So, somebody might tell you, why don't you chant Ram? Okay? So, then our mind space is completely devoted to the chant of a particular mantra, which are actually very strong energetically as well. And as the chanting is going on, all our attention, all our devotion, all of it is going into the chant. So the notion something doesn't get picked up. Now somebody might say, no, no, even chanting seems too much of a Hindu or Buddhist thing to do. So I can't. I want to be very scientific about this. So then you might be advised, why don't you just keep your attention on your breath? Remember the ATM? Because if attention is just on the breath, it is not going to all these mental notions. Just on the breath. Then if you're walking, just keep your attention on the contact with the ground. You see, beautiful practices. It depends on where you are. So some will say, okay, even this doesn't work. They might say, why don't you do some hatha yoga? You see, at least for that period of time, you will focus your attention on your muscles and your bones and how they are. So at least you'll get some room from this ATM, get some space away from it. If you do some hatha yoga, also you can do some devotional singing. All very good to get to this notionlessness. So all spiritual paths actually are keeping us in this sense I am, in your notionless existence. Now, why is silence important? If you look at, I'm talking now about the outer silence. If you look at many of the notions that you pick up, It is how you will communicate, what you want to say next, how you will present yourself. So if this whole task is taken away from you, then to come to true silence, which is your notionless existence, is much easier because you don't have to present yourself in any way. The best part about silent retreat, which I always used to love, you see, you don't have to comb your hair, you just walk around, nobody cares what you're doing, where you're going. You see, just have this space, and you don't have to think about what to say next. You don't have to think about what your roommate thinks of you, who's getting it in satsang, who's not. There's no need to communicate about any of this. And you find that as this outward silence is deepening, you will find that it's so much easier, lighter to come to this true silence, which is the absence of egoic belief. As you come to this absence of egoic belief, the notion I am something, then all outer instructions, pointings can be dropped. So it is found by all the great sages through centuries that this outer silence is very helpful for us to come to this inner silence of just being.